Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothe the grass which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation. Hopefully, got there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopefully the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. All right. And what I want to get into today, responding, first it started with the brother, the beloved brother Azaria, all right, out of GMS, Orlando, GMS in the truth. Orlando is a channel, constantly, doing lessons, edifying lessons, subscribe and be edified. And he went into a lesson, and the lesson was entitled yeah. So all you women that follow GMS, if you're offended when lessons are done, all right, on women, stop watching. Okay. And he made a few points, and he also read a comment, from some woman, all right, who's obviously offended, at what brothers, teaching about. And at the end of the day, the ministry is far greater than teaching, okay, and rebuking the nigger woman. Okay. There's a lot more things. There's way major concerning matters. Okay, way there's more weightier matters, okay, than addressing the nigger woman. Okay. And we live in a society, where correcting the nigger woman, is off, it's off limits. It's something that's not supposed to be done. Okay. But as we get closer to the end, to the time of judgment, the Lord is calling these things out, man. And not only through the prophets, man, but you have all platforms and channels dedicated to calling out the behavior of the nigger woman because she's off the goddamn chain. Okay? But when it comes to the ministry, all right, we're not going to filter what we speak about because someone might feel some type of way. Okay? This ain't what this thing is about. Okay? And at the end of the day, all right, when you go into, all right, the scriptures, okay, because what these women, try to do, they're offended that brothers getting on the nigger woman. They try to make it seem as if we're against all women. No, we're against, all right, women that's out of order. We're against women that's bad for nation building. Okay, we're against women that's under this satanic, okay, enchantment of Esau Edom. Okay, that's in complete rebellion against order and righteousness. That's what we teach against. Okay, because the scriptures teach about, the unity of a man and a woman, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, brothers love family. Brothers have families, man. Brothers. Some brothers, you know, are in cool situations, man. Beautiful families, man. There's a lot of beautiful families in Israel. We don't, post, the family and functions and how we get together and move around, off camera. We don't post those things. It's not at the forefront. Okay, but brothers, have cool situations, man. Beautiful household, man. Second generation Israelites coming into the truth, man. So the Lord is nation building, man. Okay, but what you have, these women on the outside looking in, okay, still operating under, the enchantment of the nigger woman, the feminist, okay, and they come in, with this bitterness, and they still offended and feel some type of way, as if addressing the nigger woman, as if that's something that shouldn't be done. Okay, we're gonna get into all these things, man. Okay, so first, let's go here. Let's deal with how the scriptures. When you go into the scriptures, let's go here. This is Sirach 25:1. It says, "In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before the Most High men: the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and his wife that agree together." Okay, so the scriptures promote, okay, the unity between man and woman. All right, in Genesis, what it says is not good that a man should be alone. He will help him what? He will make him what? A help meet, a aid. Okay, and that's the role of a woman. And when a woman is in her role, it's a beautiful thing. It's an extremely beautiful thing, and it's extremely helpful to a man and his purpose to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Okay, well, you have this, this combative, okay, this rebellious, this complaining ass spirit. Okay, that's the exact opposite, man. It's a hindrance to any building. Okay, so when you go into the scriptures push the unity, okay, of man and woman, the unity that was set up from the beginning for the woman to be a helpmeet, which is an aid. Okay, and it's not a thing of downing the woman by saying the man is superior. It's a thing of order. Okay, the woman is inferior to the man. All right, and it's not a thing of that's a bad thing because we're inferior to Yahweh by Shemal Shai as men. Okay, we're not on the same level as the Most High. We're not on the same level as Yahweh Shai. We're inferior. Okay, and that works for our benefit. Okay, because there's a thing of order. You see, men have a different responsibility, a different expectation than women. The Most High requires more, so He makes man superior because he has a different office to fill. The woman's inferior to the man, but her office is vital to nation building. Okay, so this is not a thing of, well, we're over here in some type of gender war. We're just mad at all women. No, we're talking about particular behavior that most of the women, all right, mainly of the Southern Kingdom, but all tribes, all right, that they showcase, man. Okay, the nigger woman has been absolutely destructive as she's been let loose in this society, man, by Esau Edom. Okay, she has been the biggest weapon to the nation since she's been let loose. Esau's number one weapon, man. So you think we're not going to address these things because a nigger woman feels some type of way on coming board, man? Okay. You said, let's keep reading. Let's get some more precepts. Just laying down a foundation. It says, Sirach 25:8, it says, "Well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding." Okay. "And that have not slipped with his tongue, and that have not served a man more unworthy than himself." Now, I want to emphasize it says, "Well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding." Okay, and you have sincere women that understand their role. They understand that they're under the man. They understand, all right, their purpose. Okay, there's women that have tapped into them purpose, and the women that have tapped into their purpose, they're not here complaining because they understand what it is. They're experiencing the perks of being in their order. Only women that are not in order have things to complain about because they don't know what it is. They're on the outside looking in. Okay, they still have that nigga woman mindset and they're getting nigga woman results alone and bitter. Okay, because they're not compatible with nobody. Okay, they can't function in the group. Okay, so the Lord has them on the outside looking in. But a woman that's in her purpose, even women in the world, even women in the world that's in their purpose serving their husband, they're not on here complaining and trying to critique men and spewing out their emotions on the internet. No, they're enjoying the benefits of them being in order under a man and that man being in order. Okay, you see? So here it is. You have this woman. What you're going to get into? Let's get some more precepts. All right, the brother, reads her comment. So we're going to address some things said. Okay, in the comment, the mindset behind it. All right. So you got Sirach 40:23. It says a friend and companion never meet or miss. Okay, which means they never fall out. Okay. It says, but above both is a wife with her husband. Okay. This Bible, the scriptures say what? Be fruitful and multiply. Who you gonna do that with? Your wife, man. All right, your wives, whatever situation you got, man. Okay, that's what that's meant. Now, a lot, we know being fruitful and multiply. Okay, is mainly going on the other side. Okay, but you have, brothers, families. All right, some brothers have gotten a head start. You see, but at the end of the day, it just shows you that but above both is a wife with a husband, showing you that the nuclear family is essential to a strong nation. Okay, the order of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, the Israelite man, the woman, then the children. Okay, that order is vital to a strong nation. Okay, so the Bible doesn't downplay the unity between men and women. Okay, if there's an order, the Bible does addresses the order, and see, the Bible does address and call out wicked women. Okay, it calls out certain behavior, and that's the behavior we call out, man. Okay, and if you, all right, have been born again, okay, these things shouldn't offend you. The only way you're offended at what's being said is if you still hold on to their way of thinking. Okay, you still, all right, ingrained, okay, with westernization. Okay, and there's certain things that as women, they're gonna hear, and it's rough for them. Okay, but to be offended to the point that you on the comment board spewing your emotions, you're completely off, man. Okay, of course, women, the West has completely just, obliterated what a woman is supposed to be. So there's things that's gonna ruffle the woman, and women hear these things, and they make the adjustments, man. They pray and they make the adjustment. Okay, the women that's sincere, you see. But if you're just a fake sister, all right, a fake believer, you're still proud. Okay, you're gonna lash out. Okay, that's why the scriptures speak about the word being what, a discerner of the thoughts. Okay, because this word, this word goes out and correction goes forth, like the scripture, like like they say, the world hit dog gonna holler, man. Okay, so this is on Sirach 26:3. It says a good wife is a portion, all right, is a good portion which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Okay, so a wife that's in order can be likened into a gift, of the Lord. Okay, a wife that's on point. All right, it ain't about being perfect. It's about the intention. Okay, the mindset, the ability to be corrected and make the adjustment. That's a valuable thing. Okay, just like with us, man, we're not perfect, man, but we're able to take correction, make the adjustment, and keep moving on, man. Okay, that's why the ministry is not about us, speaking about what we don't like and how, when this was said, this how it made me feel. No, the ministry is not about that, man. Okay, it's about correction going forth, man. It's about getting better, man. Okay, making the adjustments, constantly repenting. Okay, we hear things, hey, we all hear things, that calls us out, man. Okay, and we have to be humble enough to say, okay, I'm tripping. Let's make the adjustments, man. Okay, it's not a spirit of men just trying to justify themselves. No, if it's off according to doctrine, if there's a behavior that's off according to the scriptures, if the scriptures say this and we're doing the opposite, then we have to change, man. Not try to make the scriptures fit and justify how we feel. No. Okay. So going here, verse in Sirach 26 and 14, it says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much more. All right, there's so much worth as a mind well instructed, man. And to able to be instructed, you have to be in submission to take heed to instructions. Okay, in order for us to take heed to the instructions of Yahweh Shema Shai as men, we have to be submitted to this word. Okay, you see? So a silent and loving woman, which that doesn't mean that the woman doesn't speak, she just mute. No, she just has a silent nature, and there's certain things that women, all right, they're not equipped to make decisions on. Okay, women, all right, are not equipped to make particular decisions. Okay, they have no say so in particular matters. Okay, and this society has showed us that, man. Okay, you look out in society, all right, the Lord showing us what it looks like when women are at the head, when women trying to be equal above men. Okay, when women out here making decisions that they're not equipped to make, society has showed us the results. Okay, so this is not a thing of just getting on the woman. No, we're not here to we don't wake up and just get our rocks off by getting off on the woman, but we're gonna address off behavior, man. Okay, and we're gonna go into everything that the Bible is speaking of, man, because the Bible speaks about everything, man. Okay, the Bible addresses particular behavior, man. Okay, and it commends particular behaviors as well. Like a silent and loving woman. Okay, whether you a woman and you sitting there trying to manipulate and trying to gaslight men, and you come with this toxic energy, and and all this madness that you come with, this chaos. That's not a loving spirit, man. You bring all this unnecessary, and it's all about you and how you feel. That's not a loving spirit. Okay, you see, and it says, and there is nothing so much more as a mind well instructed, man. A mind, that's willing to receive, correction. Okay, a mind that's willing, to adjust as needed. Okay, for the sake of righteousness, man. Okay, so now, all right, we laid that foundation. Let's go into this video. Okay, let's go into this video. So this the brother, like I said, this is brother Azaria, the brother out of GMS Orlando. I'm gonna start here like at the 5-minute mark. Okay, remember the brother's channel is GMS and the Truth Orlando. Let me copy and paste it real quick. All right. Oh god damn. All right, so I'm gonna let this play.
This chick name is, hold on, Judith Yahawada. Her channel is Judith Yahawada. She say, this is a part 1. Warning, this is long but sincere. So I broke into two comments. Shalom, brothers. The water for this lesson. The lesson that Elder Not Zakbar and the brother Yuan had did. I know the topic today is different from my questions, but I wasn't sure where else to bring this up. This is just something I've been observing, and I ask this with all humility. It seems that the men, and especially the women of the southern tribes, are often the main focus of rebuke and correction. Many lessons, many lessons even focus solely on the sisters of the southern kingdom, calling out their behavior and transgressions by all the brothers. Rightfully so. However, am I mistaken in noticing that the northern tribes, so-called Hispanic,
And that's a goddamn lie. You know, she say many lessons are going into the nigga woman. Now, the nigga woman might come up in a lot of lessons, but there's not a lot of lessons just dedicated to the nigga woman. Okay, there's so much more going on. But see, someone that's watching, okay, with these certain motives, just to hear things and try to take things and twist it and got this madness going on in their head. Okay, so they're watching for the purpose to hear something that they don't like, you know, but then making it seem as if brothers just dedicate so much time to getting on the nigga woman. The nigga woman is in self-destruct mode. Okay, there's not much more to be said about the nigga woman. Okay, and the earth is bagging away from the nigga woman. Okay, the enchantment of the nigga woman has failed. Okay, it has gotten weak. Men are not going out to nightclubs anymore. They're not. Okay, the nigga woman is the least, all right, dateable. Okay, and this is in the world. So how much more in the truth, man? Okay, and another thing too, the nigga woman really thinks that she's that goddamn important, man. Okay, a lot of women really think that they that goddamn important, man. Okay, and a lot of them finna find out the hard way, man. You see? So they think the world's supposed to stop when they have an opinion on something. Okay, and that we supposed to rethink, okay, how we teach because she has a goddamn opinion, man. Okay, so let's just play some more.
so-called Hispanic, and Native Americans are rarely rebuked, which is a lie, in the same way. From what I observe, their faults and sins are not called out with the same consistency or intensity. Why is that? This is part two. It sometimes appears that many Northern Kingdom brothers don't focus much on the transgressions within the Northern Kingdom. Their FAFO, whatever that means, I'm getting old, I don't know what the hell that means. Their FAFO, idolatry, and pagan traditions, worship of the Virgin Mary, the gang culture and violence, divinations, witchcraft, and superstition, wife swapping, cheating, and broke marriages, plus a tradition of older women telling younger sisters that if they need to get ahead, just sell their bodies or use it to their advantage, passing down a mindset that pushes them into whoredom instead of righteousness, right here in Babylon. My understanding is that today's prophets are supposed to speak to all of Israel, which we do.
So she said, from her understanding, today's prophets are supposed to speak to all Israel, which brothers do. Okay, but you see, she's taking this stance like she's our superior. Okay, like she's supposed to set up the curriculum of how we should teach. As if she has watched every video, all right, has analyzed every single video that's went out, so she knows, all right, she pretty much can sum up what's being taught by every brother. Now she comes with her critique, as if she's, all right, some type of authority. Okay, the nigga woman, it never fails. Okay, and this shows you that a lot of women that watch these videos, they don't respect male authority. Okay, they still look at brothers as just niggas in the world that know a few precepts. Okay, and they still come with the same. They still think that same dynamic that they have in the world, where this world, all right, is set up for women to be over men. Okay, and they try to transition. They try, and feminism always tries to rear its head. All right, every so often, feminism tries to rear its head with a head wrap on, and try to plant the seeds, okay, of some of women authority in the truth, okay, as if she's in a position to tell us. She said she believed today's prophets, so she done lumped everybody together, the apostles, the elders, the bishops. She done lumped everybody together. Now she's finna address them and tell them what they need to do. God damn. you know Let's let it play some more, man. It got a few seconds left.
Not just northern to northern or southern to southern. If one is largely left unchecked, is there not a danger that the uncorrected part of the nation will walk blindly into judgment, believing, Salakia, believing they're in the clear? If I'm in my understanding, hold on, Salakia. She say, if I'm off in my understanding, which you is off, I humbly ask for correction. I'm sincerely seeking clarity, not trying to stir up any divination among the body. Kahala Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Yeah, man. And that fake humility, is getting played out. But there's pride. Okay. Their whole comment was full of pride. All right. Feminist viewpoints. Okay. And it was authoritative. Okay, as if she's in a position to critique. Now, when you go into this word critique, all right, let's get this word critique. Okay, you see, and these type of women, they spend so much time trying to critique men. They never come into the understanding of what they supposed to do, because they spending so much time trying to critique men. They're looking to critique. They're not looking to be edified. They're here just to critique. Okay, and build up a case, all right, and then jump out there like they gonna make some great splash, okay, and just shut the whole ministry down, and we gonna configure the ministry based on your long ass comment, okay. It says critique. It says a detailed analysis and assessment of something, especially a literary, philosophical, or political theory, okay. Evaluation, analysis, assessment, appraisal. Okay. And this is the stance that you have these women, these proud fake sisters, are trying to take. Okay. They just sit back and just critique all the videos, critique the brothers, and just collect all this data. And then they jump out there with this long ass comment, as if they finna change the game. Okay. It says to evaluate a theory or practice in a detailed or analytical way. Okay, she's trying to go into the facts of, the northern kingdoms is into paganism and gang culture. You don't think we know that? Duh, you don't think that we know that? You don't think that the northern kingdom hasn't been addressed for their wickedness, the cartels, okay, the Santa Maria, Guadalupe, the Day of the Dead. You don't think brothers have went into the conquistadors? Okay, how they conquered the tribes, and now they all Roman Catholicism, which is rooted in paganism. You don't think brothers went into that? Okay, but just because it's not being brought out enough, or the nigga woman is being called out, okay, too much for your liking, now you have to say something. You have to come in and say something, man. Okay, because you going to hear another word for critique. All right, let's get this another word. This is in the Edom Online. Okay, so you go into the Edom Online. It says critique. It says critical examination or review. All right, of merits of something. Okay, and see, the nigga woman is used to in nigga culture everything bends to her critique. Okay, when you look at nigga culture, it's framed by the critiques of women. Okay, because what do nigga? Because women like certain type of men in nigga culture. You know, athletes, rappers, okay, street niggas, dope boys. So that's what the majority of men in their culture try to be or imitate, because that's the woman critique of the type of man she like. Okay, so most of the men in nigga culture, they imitate that type of man. You know, and I say we're speaking from experience. We was in this shit. We know how it go. Okay, and um, it says one who passes judgment. Okay, it says formerly critique from the 1580s. One who passes judgment, person skilled in judgment, merit in some particular class of thing. Now listen to this. It said from Latin, criticus, a judge, a censor, an estimator. Okay, a judge, a censor, or estimator. So she's speaking as if she's a judge. Okay, and she wants to censor what's being said when it comes to the nigga woman. Okay, as if the nigga woman is not off the goddamn chain. Okay, and it's to the point now, brothers, and don't dedicate a lot of time, all right, to the nigga woman. You know, the nigga woman is destroying herself. The nigga woman is on self-destruct mode. She doesn't need, it doesn't take a lot of explanation. Okay, you can just observe, all right, the nigga woman and alpha bees, and it's a goddamn mess. Okay, her, them friends, them badass kids. You can just look at the nigga woman for 18 seconds and you can come up with your own assessment that this motherfucker is off the chain, man. Okay? It don't take a lot of explanations and precepts to explain that the nigga woman, all right, is completely off for the most part, man. Okay? So when you go here, all right, I want to get some more. I'm gonna get this precept real quick. And then there's a couple more videos I want to get. All right. But when you go here, okay, and what the woman, you nigga women, what you have to understand, you don't have nothing working in your favor. So it will be your best decision, okay, to sit your ass down and understand what you need to do. Okay, if you got time to critique man, there's critique men, okay, whom the Lord is dealing with. The Lord has put his spirit on these men to go teach. If you have time to go critique these men, there is no way that you understand what the hell you supposed to be doing, man. Okay? You nigga woman have to understand you don't have anything going for you in this situation, man. You have no cards. Okay? And what's happening and what the Lord is building and putting together, you don't have any cards, man. Okay? And you come with this jacked up attitude, chaos, dysfunction, all the baggage and trauma you come with, all right, and you still have this pride as if you know you're all right, some type of prize or you know you're some type of achievement to a man. Them days are long gone. Okay, hold on, let me get this back. All right, and let's say for the women, all right, that's doing what they're supposed to do, they don't have any complaints because they're enjoying the benefits of being in order. Okay, just as Israelite men, we're enjoying the benefits of being in order. Okay, we don't have any complaints about the Heavenly Father and His Son Yahushua. We're not here critiquing them. You know, we're not here to critique them. So now the blue letter don't stop. Let me go here. All right. But that's like us critiquing the Heavenly Father. But the woman doesn't look at the man in that regard. Many women don't look at men in that regard. Okay. Like I say to them, all right, they still just see niggas with garments and they know a few things, but they still niggas and I'm over them. Okay, so let me step in and critique these niggas on how it should be done and how dare these niggas keep correcting us. Okay, that's the spirit that they in. Okay, so let's go here to Hebrews 4. All right, let's get this Hebrews 4 and 12. We go to some more video. All right, this Hebrews 4 and 12. It said, "For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart." Okay, so this word going out, okay, and people are watching. You got these little cliques of women. They get together and watch these videos. They link up, and it's a click of them, and they have their complaints. They just sit back watching videos, critiquing on the phone, gossiping and shit. Okay, and if you a woman that's a part of that group, you better get out that shit, man. Hey, because like we've been reading, when the Lord bring forth judgment, it's gonna be complete judgment, and He gonna sweep away everybody that's involved in this shit, man. Okay, I say that this word goes forth as the Lord is building. All right, the house of David, His men getting in order. Okay, you're gonna have people offended, man. There's a lot of women offended and men coming back into power. Israelite men coming back into power, man. There's a lot of women offended at that, man. And if they could, they'd tear it down. Okay, so they sit back there and they act like they believe, they act like they down, and they they leave comments and but deep down they're offended. And it gets to the point where they can't hold the offense anymore, and they gotta let it go in the form of a humble comment. And there was nothing humble about that comment. Okay, it came from a position of critique and authority, man. Okay, so let's go here. All right, let's go here. All right, so this is from the Elder Manata Zakba. All right. Yeah, so this one's titled Response Women Beware of Hebrew Israelite, all right, doctrine. Okay. Now let's play this.
I know a lot of y'all think I'm stupid or unlearned or whatever. That's fine. Here's my thing. I understand why men gravitate to the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, because for a lot of them, it's like, yeah, one more reason why I'm not just better than white folks and Asians, I'm also better than women. But for women to join these groups, I don't understand. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but let's not forget the stories of people like Joy Morgan. She was a part of a camp. Now, I know a lot of y'all aren't in camps. I'm not saying that all Hebrew Israelites are in a camp, even though it seems like y'all think that if I say Hebrew Israelite, that automatically means camp. But anyway, that's another whole conversation. Joy Morgan was a young girl in a camp, and she was unalived by someone in her camp. Well, that's just one of many stories. I mean, you got the guy that was in New Jersey, him and his girlfriend that unalived those people at that Jewish store. Then you got the dude in Arizona who unalived his own, was it wife or girlfriend and two of his own kids and somebody in the camp? Am I saying that all Hebrew Israelites or people who identify as Israelites or whatever, are they all violent? No, not at all. But what I am saying is that women who are in these groups, beware, because
And you see how she remembers, all these events. And like I say, when Esau pushes the persecution, it's gonna be niggas on the front line, all right, headed by Eve. that's going to assist, all right, this devil in the persecution of the prophets. Okay, that's why brothers that you got to be mindful. All right, every head wrap, can't be trusted. Okay, so we're in the time now of being very circumspect, keeping the circle small. Okay, because everyone is not a true believer, man. All right, but if you see the nature of the nigga woman, she just rattling these events off like they're memorized and ingrained in her mind. And it's like, goddamn, you know. So when Esau pushes his persecution, man, niggas are going to be a major aid to Esau, and the nigga woman is going to be at the front of it. Okay, she's going to be in front of the the super soldier. It's going to be Eve, then the super soldier. Eve's going to be in front of them. Okay, so let's just play some more. All right, and then they try to highlight, which we rebuke off behavior of these other camps. But one thing we know, okay, that there's nothing more destructive than Christianity and nigger culture. All right. These other camps, they off and they do too much. There's certain things that they do. Okay. Well, they're nowhere near destructive as nigger culture and Christianity, man. Nowhere near. It doesn't measure up. Okay.
It can be very dangerous. Remember the guy that got his 2 teenage daughters into the Hebrew Israelite cult and they ended up starving to death, all 3 of them. This is one of the many reasons why cults are dangerous. Whenever you veer away from the true gospel, which is the message of reconciliation through Jesus Christ and him crucified and him resurrected, whenever you veer from that, you get off into some weird, dangerous teachings, and someone usually gets hurt, whether it's physically hurt or spiritually hurt. Because ultimately, we're all going to leave this earth and we're going to have to give an account to God for our lives. And if you abandon the true gospel for this fake Hebrew Israelite gospel, that's going to be a problem. One reason I do these videos and will continue to do these videos is because I know for every 1,000 people that calls me an idiot, stupid, dumb, unlearned, whatever, bed wench, yeah, that too. It really shows the fruit of the spirit, right? When y'all call me a bed wench. But for all 1,000 of those folks, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 people who says, you know what, she's right. Let me go look at the scriptures and see if in context she's interpreting them right. Here's how people get sucked into Hebrew Israelism. For one, it's their pride. For two, is that someone points out a select amount of verses that seem to say, see, God has chosen Black people. Those are the descendants of the slave trade. You are God's chosen people. And then you grab some pseudo facts from here or some book like From Babylon to Timbuktu and listen to a Stephen Darby sermon and you think you've somehow figured out the Bible. So y'all can keep roasting me in the comments or making response videos. That's fine. Being hated for your faith is actually a good thing.
Yes. She out of there. All right. And you shut your ass up. Okay. Because it's to the point now. Like I say, there's not much that need to be said concerning the nigga woman because she bugged out. Okay. No one fights against being an Israelite more, all right, than Israelites. Okay. The actual people. Here it is. All right. Then you got the fake, all right, imposters in the land. They over there going to war, to try to prove, they're actually dropping bombs. They getting bombed now. All right. They getting their ass handed to them in wars. All right. Trying to hold up to our identity. Okay. But here it is, as we tell our people who they are. And the Lord has allowed us His grace period for us to come back to who we are and to grow in who we are and grow in Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. There's no one that's fighting against it more than our people and headed by who? The nigga woman. Okay? The nigga woman will always be the fall of the sons of God. Okay? But this time the Lord is not going to allow that. All right? This is why Yahweh Shai, what scripture say, well, He's the author and finisher of our faith. He didn't get sidetracked by a woman this time. As Adam, he got sidetracked by a woman. All right. He fumbled the rulership. All right. As King Solomon, he got sidetracked by women. He fumbled the rulership. Okay. But as Yahweh Shai, he didn't. He tapped in. Okay. And he was obedient. Okay. So you're gonna have their resistance, okay, from the nigga woman. All right, she's gonna spew her madness, okay, and she's gonna see how many women, would want to be, okay, a Hebrew Israelite, okay, as if feminism was all right, a great thing, as if Christianity was this great thing for the nigga woman, okay. Now I say there's other camps that are off, man, but the true doctrine, the true belief, okay, the body of Yahweh, this is a place of healing for Israelite men and Israelite women, okay, because you have men that are truly being healed, becoming leaders, becoming judges, becoming priests, man, under Yahweh, okay, and you have women being healed, all right, some women that are being healed under those men, and even sincere sisters that are not not with a man, they can come, all right, to this setting and they're being healed. Okay. So the physician, Yahweh, is healing the body. Okay. And you see, if you're experiencing that, all right, that everything else is madness, man. You see, but if you're on the outside looking in, you're gonna always have a complaint. Now I want to get this one to this last video, then we get back to some preaching.
A lot of men know that women.
All right. So let's play this. Let's hear this. Hear this dragon.
A lot of men know that women surrender their ability to think when they meet them. Like, she just can't think for herself no more. So that's why they chose y'all as wives. Whole time they be wanting the ones who really can't think for themselves, but they can't handle them. Some men.
Now let's hear this logic one more time.
A lot of men know that women surrender their ability to think when they meet them. Like, she just can't think for herself no more. So that's why they chose y'all as wives. Whole time they be wanting the ones who really can't think for themselves, but they can't handle them. Some men's ego cannot handle a smart woman or just a woman who thinks for herself, period.
So she said that men choose women that submit. Pretty much men choose women that surrender their thinking. Okay. But they really want women who think for themselves. Okay. You see that the woman is just bugged out. Okay. And they're just trying to make sense, okay, of their bitterness. Okay. And that they're not compatible with any goddamn body. Okay. Bugged out. You see? What the hell? Why would a man want a woman that's combative? Because when she says a woman that thinks for herself, she's saying a woman that's going to be combative, that's going to challenge you in every point you try to make, every instruction you give. She's going to be combative. Okay? And there's another thing that they try to, because see, they think that a woman being submissive is this woman has no say so, she can't do nothing independently. That's not what that means. Okay? A woman being submissive is a woman operating within the man's order. And there's certain things that women, okay, however, is set up. Okay, women have things, they have duties that they do within a structure. See, these women are foreign to structure. See, all they know is the rebelliousness that they seen from their mothers, their aunties, even some of their grandparents. All they seen is that rebellion, so they don't know what a structure is. You see, when you talk about a marriage consist of duties. Men have duties, women have duties. There's certain duties that the woman has. The man doesn't have to micromanage the woman every step. She knows what needs to be done. Okay? The man has duties that need to be done. And there's certain things that have to be talked about, that have to be communicated. Okay? And in these communications, the man has the last say so of what direction to go. Okay? And women, when she talk about smart women, that's another thing. Women be thinking they be deep. You have a lot of these proud fake sisters, and they think they deep. You know, they be sizing men up, watching videos and sizing brothers up like I know more than him. You know, and they think they deep. Okay, so they come with this like they smart, like they on the same level, and they're not. Okay, and where has your self thinking got women so far? Okay, we're gonna go into the stats in a minute, but where has women thinking for themselves? Where has that gotten them so far? Okay, the results is in the society. Okay, but let's let her speak some more.
Feel superior if you are chosen by an indoctrinated man, because the fact of the matter is those men don't care about the woman. They just want a woman. They just want any woman to submit to them so that they can mistreat and degrade and berate these women because they feel like they can. Their religion deems women as inferior to them, but God does not deem women as inferior to man. God said he is not a respecter of persons, and he meant it. And God does not want you to surrender your ability to think as a woman. Just because a man comes into your life, that does not mean that you surrender your ability to think. And understand that just because you tolerate and accept anything from a man, that does not make you the superior woman. That does not make you a submissive woman. That makes you a fool. Letting a man talk to you any kind of way and do anything to you and tolerating and accepting it, that doesn't make you a submissive nor superior woman. That makes you a fool. Women on here with their heads wrapped. You think that makes you a superior woman because you got your hair wrapped and you submit to your husband and you let him think for you and you let him dictate your every move. You totally surrendered your ability to think. Whole time you submitting to a fool who's stupid in religion. He's so lost in religion. He's indoctrinated himself. But you've forsaken the word of God. This is why I tell women to read the word for yourself. I don't care just because a man came to you. So what? God is not a respecter of persons. He gave you the ability to think just like he gave him. But you don't surrender your ability to think because you want to follow him, because you could be following a fool. Let's be clear about it. It's a lot of people, they're so stupid in religion. And they're going to be looking crazy here and depart from me. I never knew you. Think as a woman. God wants you to think as a woman. God gave you the ability to think. Think. Don't be afraid to think. A lot of women surrender their ability to think just to keep a man. Men are intimidated by smart women. They are intimidated by women who challenge them, who hold them accountable, who actually think for themselves. And y'all know this, and y'all will surrender your ability to think as a woman just to be in the company of a man, just to get a ring.
And what she pushing is rebellion. You know, this is what she pushing. And see, this is what these bitter women, because she's not compatible with anybody. All right. She's not compatible with anybody. That's why she's pushing rebellion. Okay. She's trying to push rebellion. But like I say, real women who are in a good situation, this shit don't even register to them. Okay. Because they know what it is. You see? But this is the bitterness from the outside looking in, because she's not compatible with anybody, because she's still trying to operate off that Western mindset. Okay, that women are equal, or women are even above. Okay, so these women, they come across these channels and they listen. Okay, they get cut and they constantly get cut because the Lord know exactly what you need to hear for you to be offended, and He allows you to hear it. Okay, and you become offended, and then you go on your outrage. Okay, so let's address some of these things, because she's saying, let me see if the blue letter came back up, because somebody want to get on the blue letter. Okay, here we go. We back. All right. So let's go here. Okay, because let me see. What you hear her saying, all right, is just a spirit, I say, of rebellion. and she's pissed. You can tell that you can hear her hatred towards men, and then you can hear her hatred towards women that are in order. You know, you can hear her hatred towards women in order, and the scriptures speak about that. Let's get that. All right. This is the book of Second Ezra 16. All right, and 49. It says, like as a whore. Okay, like as a whore envieth a righteous woman. All right. It says, like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteous hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face. When he cometh, that shall defend him that diligently searcheth out every sin upon the earth. Okay. And see, this is what these women don't understand, that judgment is at the door. Okay, they're still fighting, to maintain feminism and, try to come under the banner like they believe in the Bible. No, you believe in feminism. Okay, because if you believe the Bible first, you would shut the hell up. Okay, and nobody cares. Like, it's to the point where even her opinion, nobody cares. Okay, you're becoming a non-factor. The Lord got the women that He's going to deliver. They chilling. Okay, but you women that's offended and mad, and you hurt, you're bitter. Okay, this ain't for you. Okay, and no one cares about you trying to teach the Bible and how you feel and your opinion. And okay, and then she talk about the men that's indoctrinated. Well, are you not indoctrinated with Westernization? Okay, but like the scripture said, like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, and this is an example of that. Let's get her back up here, because she's gonna say a few more things. Okay, and then we'll move on. So let's get her back up here, man.
Why does this kept the same ring that y'all try to flaunt and hold over other women's head? A lot of us know that the only reason you have that is because you don't think for yourself, and
she mad. All right, she mad as hell. Okay.
he knows it. Their religion tells them that they are superior to all women, so they just need a woman to boss around, cook their food, and exist solely for him. No, you exist solely to give the glory to God, to please God, and God will send you a man that won't require you to make him God. One thing about it, religion, people who are in cults, they have a habit of mislabeling stupidity as submission and being submissive, but it's just stupid. And I want to be clear that you do not get commended by God. God does not commend women for submitting to stupid men.
So now she's an authority in the scriptures now. You see? But this is all come from a place of hurt from the outside looking in. All right. And no man, all right, outside of a simp, which she wouldn't respect, okay, would go for this, man. And a lot of you women, you fake sisters, man, you proud fake sisters, man, you better off just stop listening, go find you a beta male provider, all right, and just ride off into the missiles, man. And enjoy, at least get you a nigga that you can that's gonna pamper you before the missiles come. Go find you a simp and just go get pampered before the missiles come. Okay, because on the comment board, all right, trying to fake it, you're not getting nowhere. You can't lie to the spirit. The spirit gonna call it out. All right, you're gonna be offended. You're gonna lash out. Okay, and you're gonna be walk around bitter and hurt. So just go get you a beta male provider. All right, and just be pampered until the missiles come. Okay, and you just see you on the other side. Because right now it's clear that this ain't for all right a lot of women. Okay.
God does not commend women for submitting to indoctrinated men who are lost sheep themselves and lack the ability to think. God doesn't commend women for doing so. I don't care how y'all feel about it. I'm not with your religion. I'm not in none of y'all cliques. I don't.
So what? Okay. You don't have to announce that who gives a damn? Okay. Who cares? All right. You think we're going to lose sleep because your big nose ass, all right, don't believe? Okay, your squid was looking at us, don't believe. So now, okay, we got to do something. Okay, this is Proverbs 9:13. It says, like, this is from the brother, endurance is key. 144. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Don't know what the hell she's talking about, man. She's just coming from a place of hurt. Okay, and that's why. Let's go here. You see, she's just speaking from a place of hurt, man. You know, lonely as hell. All right. So let's get this, man. I want to get these real quick. Cause like this is what the nigga woman doesn't understand. All right. You don't have anything going for you. Okay. That's what the nigga woman does not understand. Okay. Now let's get um let's get this. So you look up the most the results, all right, for the least dateable women in America by race. Okay, it says black women and Asian men are ranked as the least desired in dating. This has led some online dating websites to change their algorithms to focus less on individual appearances and demographics and more on individual hobbies and mutual interests. Okay, so the least desirable, okay, is the black woman, and it says the Asian man because it goes by the dating sites. With a lot of Asian men are not on there, okay, because they got structure. All right, when you got structure, when you got order, you don't need no goddamn dating site. Okay, so the least dateable is the nigga woman, least desirable. All right, so let's go here. Let's see the stats of the nigga woman. All right, um, so let's go here to, all right, the most unmarried woman by race. It said, based on available information, the following race ethnic groups have the highest proportion of women who have never married or currently unmarried. Okay, highest proportion of women who have never married. Black African American women, black women are 3 times as likely as white women to never marry. In 2023, approximately 49% of black women had never been married, a significant increase from earlier years. More than 48% of black women and 51% of black men had never married in 2021. All right, so you're the least dateable, okay, the least married. All right, let's go get some more stats, man. So let's go to, all right, the most obese woman by race. Okay, it says in the United States, all right, based on data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, all right, 2017, 2018. So you know it's done went up, since then. It was almost 7 years ago. All right, it says non-Hispanic black women had the highest age-adjusted prevalence to obesity at 56.9%. Okay, and you know this probably in the 70 percentile now. All right, 7, 8 years later. Okay, and then you have a second, all right, which America is the most obese state. I mean, the most obese country. All right, you have the northern tribes. Okay, because Issachar, she done got bad built over these years. All right, bad built. Well, them burritos and you know, all right, chimichangas ain't work out. Okay, now let's go from there. So you the least desirable, okay, the least married, the most obese. All right. So let's see what else, man. Okay. Let's see. The most single mother households by race in the United States. Black or African American families have the highest percentage of single mother households compared to other races and ethnic groups. While 21% of mothers in the U.S. are single, 47%, okay, that 21% of black mothers are single mothers, according to Visual Capitalist. All right, this is significantly higher than the rates of Hispanic, 25%, white, 14%, Asians 8%. Okay, it says a large percentage of black children live in single parent households, with some sources indicating rates as high as 66 or 70%. Okay, so you're the least desirable, the least married, the most obese, okay, the most single mothers. All right, and let's see. I think there's a few more. Okay, let's go here, man. And this is what we were saying. And the thing is, if you sit your ass down, okay, and shut your ass up, you stand a better chance. Okay, but when you get to talking and trying to be deep and trying to critique, it goes downhill from there because you don't have nothing else working for you, man. America has completely destroyed you to the point, okay, of no return. Okay, so you go here. It says STDs. What race of women have the most STDs? In the United States, black women experience disproportionately higher rates of STDs compared to women of other racial and ethnic groups. The disparity is evident across various STDs, including chlamydia and gonorrhea. It says black women have significantly higher rates of chlamydia and gonorrhea compared to white women. For example, in 2018, a reported rate of chlamydia caused among black women was 5 times that of white women, and the rate of gonorrhea was 8.8 times higher. Okay, so the most diseased, the most obese, the least married, least dateable. Okay, all this shit working against you. Okay, and you still want to jump on the comment board with pride. Okay, and you represent less than 1% of the world's population. Okay, you a non-factor when it comes to nation building, man. What the Lord is getting ready to do, okay, for His people, man. Okay, let's see what race of women has the most debt. Black and Native American women, all right, the tribes experience the highest rates of poverty and debt in the United States. They face significant disparities in wealth accumulation, student loan debt, and overall financial stability compared to white women and men. Okay, the most debt. All right, then you go here. Then I got one more. Okay, let's see. Hmm, Um, yeah. All right. So it says, what race of mothers have the highest child neglect? It says multiple sources indicate that black mothers, all right, and brother can put that in Lamentations 4 and 3, Bible shot. Multiple sources indicate that black mothers and their children are disproportionately involved in a child welfare system, including a higher likelihood of experiencing child neglect. Higher reporting rates. Black children are reported to Child Protective Services at higher rates than white children, which may be linked to child neglect. This is consistent with data showing black children have a higher official report rates for neglect. Okay, so when it comes to child neglect, the nigga woman is in the lead. Okay, and we didn't even get on abortions, man. Since we here, let's just okay. Highest abortion race by race. What is that? Okay, in the United States, the non-Hispanic black woman experienced the highest abortion rates compared to other racial and ethnic groups. Specifically, they have the highest rates of abortion per 1,000 women and the highest ratio of abortions to live births. While black women account for a smaller percentage of the overall population, they represent a larger proportion of those who have abortions. Okay? So when you look at the league of the worst stats, the nigga woman is leading. Okay? So, and the point is, you have nothing working for you, but you jump on the scene with all this attitude and critiquing and what you don't like. Okay? You're not an addition to anybody. Okay? Pure liability, man. Okay, and you jumping on the comment board with all this goddamn critiquing, okay, and your emotions and how you feel, okay, nah, man, you finna lose, man. All right, your ass gonna get left here and gonna be part of this desert that the Lord finna make America, man. A lot of you women, okay, that ain't right. You proud fake sisters and you random women that got so much to say about the ministry. You're just here to be a part of the desert, man. Okay. Lamentations 4:3 says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostrich in the wilderness, man. Okay. So here it is. The woman in this setup is getting worse. Okay. And this is why, we preach to women to separate from this shit, man. It's destroying you, man. It's making you, all right, unhealthy, all right, mentally, physically. It's making you a horrible mother. It's making you uncompatible, all right, for anything, for anybody. Okay, it's destroying you, man. Okay, this is why we tell you to separate from this madness, man. Okay, and we're gonna constantly get on you. We're not gonna stop talking about things because you offended or it might be a situation that you in that we addressing. Hey, this is what it is, man. We got nothing to do with it. All right, don't give a damn. Okay, there's a lot of things that are talked about when we teaching, we're teaching against our old man. Okay, a lot of things that we teach against, okay, that we speak on, we're speaking on things that we were once involved in, man. We was niggas in the world, man. We was lost. We was in darkness, man. Okay, you don't think we gonna not talk about it because somebody might feel some type of way? Nah, man. Okay, if you hear something being addressed and it's a current situation that you in, it just is what it is, man. If that ain't you no more, you shouldn't be offended. Okay, if you truly been born again, you shouldn't be offended, man. Okay, this is Micah 2:10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction, man. Okay, and this place pollutes your mind, your spirit, your thinking. Okay, it destroys you, man. Okay, and this is what we telling you, you women. Okay, you steady, trying to cleave on to the ways of this world and trying to, you know, incorporate feminism and nigga culture into the truth and still trying to be this authority figure that has destroyed you, man. Okay, you women trying to be an authority, trying to be the head, that has completely destroyed you and everything around you, man. Okay, every way you can think of. All right, that's why when you go into this word, all right, polluted, it is polluted. Okay, which is a Hebrew word, tamah. Okay, it says to be unclean, to become impure. All right, sexually, religiously, okay, ceremonially, defile oneself sexually by idolatry. Okay, so America has done nothing but destroy you as a woman, and a lot of you women are destroyed beyond the point, okay, of no return. Okay, so here it is, these women, trying to jump up and tell other women what the Lord likes and what he don't like. Nah, man, the scriptures got sound doctrine on that. That's why we went over there in the beginning. Okay. You see, a man and a woman that agree together. All right. And there's an understanding, there's an order to it. Okay. They don't mean that they're equal, there's an order. Okay, we agree with Yahushua. We equal to Yahushua. Yahushua agrees with the Father. Is he equal to the Father? No. Okay, so there's an agreement, but there's an order. All right, and that's why you go here to Let's get this in 1 Peter 3. Get a couple more. We close out. All right, but this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3. Okay, it said likewise. It said likewise, you wives be in subjection to your own husbands, man. Okay, and they push that, Hollywood propaganda, that Tyler Perry propaganda, like, oh, you can't think for yourself. That's just bitter talk from them hoes on the outside looking in. Okay, oh, you can't. He don't let you. They trying to demonize, women for being in order. But what do the scriptures say, man? Okay, and subjection ain't no bad thing. I love being in subjection to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. Okay, I wouldn't have it any other way. I would be afraid, all right, to be, my own head. just out here winging it. Okay. I'm very appreciative that I have a head, okay, that I have to answer to and go through, okay, when it comes to decision making, man. So let's get this word subjection in
Strong's G 5293. Hupatasso. Hupatasso.
Upatasso. All right. And it says what? All right. To arrange under, to subordinate, okay, to subject oneself, to obey, okay, to submit to one's control, to yield to one's admonition or warning or advice. To yield to one's admonition or advice, man. Okay. So that's warning. All right, because your husband, okay, is going to lead you in a way. All right, if you have a husband that's on point, he's going to lead you in the way to where everybody wins. Okay, it ain't about bossing nobody around. Here it is. Here the Hebrew Israelite is just the worst man that you can have. Which I say some of them niggas be bugged out, but you gotta peep that as a woman. You gotta goddamn, you gotta peep that. You see, but here it is. The Israelite man is now, all right, the worst person that you can get linked with. But look at you women baby daddies, man. Look at the lineup. Line you niggas, post your goddamn baby daddies up, man. And let's look at these niggas that y'all choosing to have children with. Okay. But then when it comes to brothers that's in the truth, or brothers that believe, okay, we the worst candidates for hood. Okay. But your selection of baby daddies has just been stupendous over the years. Okay. Let's let's keep going, man. And it said that if any, it said likewise, you wives be in subjection to your own husband. If any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the conduct of the wives. Okay, because even for women that believe that are married to men that don't believe, there's still a level of subjection that you should have. Okay, and it says while they behold your chaste conversation covered with fear, whose adorning let it not be the outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair and the wearing of gold and the putting on of apparel. Okay, and what this means is, that you can't get your hair braided or you can't style yourself up. No, this shouldn't be. All right, you shouldn't be shallow. All right, who you are shouldn't be based, okay, on the outward appearance, okay, on the social media profile, okay, some character that you created, on social media. That shouldn't be the beginning and the end of you. No, it should be the inward man, okay. It says, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, all right, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High a great price. A meek, all right, which goes to humility and quiet spirit, okay, knowing when, all right, hey, to shut it down, knowing when that, okay, this is above my jurisdiction, okay, knowing when you come to a point that, okay, in this I have no say so, okay, understanding when those moments come. All right, not on camera trying to tell women what they should be doing and think for themselves, and the Lord dealing with them. It don't work like that, man. The woman is being judged solely how she treats her man. Okay, that's how the woman is going to be judged. And the meek and quiet spirit, it says, which in the sight of the Most High of great price, man. Okay, and the women that's doing this, they're living this and experiencing this, and they good and they chilling. They far from the camera trying to press record and tell women what they need to be doing, and down the men and trying to critique. That's not even on their mind, because they're occupied in their office and their duty. Okay, and they experiencing peace. Okay, they got structure. Okay, they got a community, they got a network. They good. Okay. What is these scragglers on the outside looking in, okay, that's bitter as hell, coming with all this critique and, nah, man. Okay. So, nobody cares. All right, the nigga woman, no one looking for you. No one cares about your violin story. None of that is past. You had your time. Okay, it's over. Okay, the thrill is gone. All right, people are running from your ass now. Okay, you're not compatible with anybody. You don't fit nowhere. Okay, people hate to see you and them badass kids coming. Okay, so you're gonna be through out here, man. Lord just gonna make a lot of you women, all right, a part of this great desert, okay, of America, man, with these missiles. Okay, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you few sisters edified. Till next time I say shalom. Kwam Yashala Bible Soon Shalom.